Greetings, strangers. Welcome to Ghost Town SMP, the SMP where I am all alone. I have big plans for today, hopefully. Because today is when I get to finally do some terraforming around here. Now, I've done some terraforming. The bit of a cliff that we're on now, very short cliff, but a cliff nonetheless, is obviously custom. I've started work on this river that goes down to the sea that direction. And if we come around this way, you can see that I have this bay here that's kind of been decorated. So not a huge amount of terraforming yet, but there are small bits and pieces that have been. Now, the goal for today is going to be doing something with this area. It needs some work. We're probably going to go through and replace these torches with moss carpets and lights, clean up the area a bit. Gotta extend the paths out. So far we don't have the path leading up to the secondary tower of my base, and it doesn't go all the way to that barn in the distance, so we gotta fix that too. I don't know how much of the terraforming we're gonna get to today, but as much as possible. If we can get around to it, there is some space on the other side of the fields of farmland that I'd like to get some work done on as well. But we'll just have to see how that goes. For now, we should probably sleep. And now we can get to gathering up supplies. First, we'll need a box. We'll probably need stone, mossy cobble, deep slate, coarse dirt, some cobblestone stairs, mossy slabs, and some normal cobble slabs, some mossy cobble walls, some moss, as well as moss carpets, couple boxes of dirt, azaleas and flowering azaleas, maybe some oak leaves, my braids box, a bit of granite, and some bricks. And I think that should about do it for our supplies. Alright, so to start with, we're gonna set down a little base of operations between the two towers. Central location that's easy for us to get to and get to work with. Now I think it would be smart to start by deciding how the area should look. How do we want things to go around here? I think to start with, I want to bring this layer back some. Oh, and reveal where I used to have a sugarcane farm. Bringing this dirt back from the second tower helps it feel a bit more imposing in its own right, despite being so much lower to the ground than the initial tower. So now that we've brought these two layers back, I think the next thing we need to do is kind of the opposite. Give more of a platform to the level that the tower is actually on. this is already feeling so much better spatially. We've still got the way that it dips down over here, but it's a much more gradual feel up near the tower, which is absolutely perfect. And it'll make having the path run up to it so much simpler. This is genuinely more work than I've gotten done on my base in weeks. We've gotten quite a bit done. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's go around and see what all has happened, what has changed. So obviously, there are significantly less torches around in the main area. We got a whole bunch of sea lanterns. That's mostly thanks to Blue. He's the one who set up the Guardian farm out that way forever ago. Other than that, we've changed the shape of the terrain around here a decent amount. It keeps its dip in the center, mostly because I didn't want to have to redo the entirety of the path I'd already done. But also I like that it dips down. It feels nice. We've added in paths and lanterns, street lamps, all across the main area. So now we can get to my bee and frog enclosure pretty easily. And we've got a path leading up to the second tower, which was a big thing that I wanted to get done. Especially because I've mostly moved into the second tower. Like, the first tower is where I was initially living, but that's kind of become my automation hub, so it doesn't really make sense to live in there anymore. And when I built the second one, I decided this was going to be more the living space. So it's got my storage room and my bedroom, and it's going to have more fun things in it as I get around to decorating inside of the tower, which will hopefully be soon. But for now, we've got a path that goes up to our living space, which is great. Then, of course, if we come up over this way, this is really where the majority of the changes have occurred. We've added a couple more street lamps going up this way and past the fields of farmland. We've got a new section of path that leads to the barn. But these retaining walls, this is probably the biggest change we've done. I mostly took inspiration from some walls that Ethos Lab did in Hermitcraft 10. I know, shocking. Minecrafter taking inspiration from Ethos Lab. No way. As far as the packed mud and mud bricks, I didn't really have a plan. It was kind of just... it needed something underneath the walls, you know? So, like, I had to add something. I wasn't really sure what, but I thought this would look nice. And it kind of adds to the feeling of, like, the land is displaced. I don't know. I think it looks nice. I'm probably overthinking this, but yeah, so we've got the retaining walls. And on this side, the retaining wall wraps all the way around to the waterfront, which just made a lot of sense to me. Of like, I had this bit of a slope here that I wasn't really a big fan of and didn't really know what to do with, and it wasn't very useful, so I just flattened that down and added the retaining walls across here. And then I noticed this area while I was working on it, and I thought it was a cool area, but it needed more to it. And I still may mess around with how the decoration is down here, but for now we've just got this cool area that's got the crystals and the coral. And I think it looks pretty cool. And then obviously adding in all of the seagrass around here, just to make it feel a little more alive. Decorate it a little bit. So we got a lot done today. I'm very happy with that. Hopefully we'll continue getting a lot done in the future. That is always the goal. The last thing I wanted to take a look at today is the world map. This is my world map in what is meant to be like a commons area that I haven't really decorated yet. We'll get to that in the future though. So this is all of the area that is currently inhabited on the world, and a little ways outside of it. Eventually I want to square off the map so it's fully a rectangular shape, but I haven't gotten around to exploring the rest of those chunks yet. But this here is our area and how it looks on the world map. I think it turned out pretty good. Now, as the sun sets behind me, I'd like to thank you all for joining me in this ghost town and coming along for the journey. And I hope to catch you later.